Welcome to Wellness Wonderland, your holistic wellness hub. Join us as we dive into the realms of alternative medicine, mindfulness, spirituality, and everything in between. I'm your host, Nicole Papa George Murphy, and today we have Maddison Sutton with us. Maddison is a certified integrative health coach, a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, specializing in burnout recovery, hormone health, and holistic wellness. She helps high achieving women break free from survival mode, regulate their nervous systems, and create a balanced, fulfilling life. Through functional health, mindset work, and personalized strategies, Maddison guides her clients from burnout to balance, helping them find their flow. Maddison, I am so excited to have you on today. Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Today's a good day. It's nice and green outside. So, good day to shoot a podcast.
I know I've been eating lunch like every day outside when I can, and things are starting to bloom, and there's like a bunch of bees in our backyard, so I'm excited about that.
Seasonal depression is gone.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. Well, I just want to know like what got you into the space? Like what do you do? Just let's start there. Like what do you do? What do you offer? And then like what was the journey to get here?
Yeah. So what I do at a high level, I support women in the corporate space that are dealing with burnout, stress, and hormone related conditions
Mm.
because they are pretty much all tied together. I like to say that I help women find their flow or, go from burnout to balance. For me, it's all about helping my clients get to a place where they feel very holistically well with their health, their physical health, which is oftentimes what they come to me for. But I like to take it a step further and make sure that they feel really and truly well-rounded in their life. And they feel like they are doing things that fulfill them because so oftentimes that's what's actually causing that burnout and stress. So, the way that I work with women is I do a combination of like functional lab testing and creating just, unique plans for my clients. I do 90-day protocols to help women get where they want to be as quickly as possible. But with a combination of lab testing and just kind of, learning about them, I like to create sort of unique plans for my clients and really work with them and hold their hand.
I love that.
So, yeah, that's a little bit about what I do. How I got into this space is like quite a journey. I feel
I'm
like
sure it is.
most people that are in the holistic health space, they're like not here for no reason, you
Yes, they
know?
got here because of something. Yeah.
Yeah, like all of us are here for a specific reason. That's why so many of us feel so passionately because we've been through it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, as a former corporate burned out girly, I can resonate and I absolutely know that there is a need and a space for your services. So, yeah. Were you like, I would love to hear kind of the journey of how you got started. Like, were you in the corporate space and you were just nervous system was shot and you're like looking for solutions because this is like not the way to live? Or like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, holistic health was kind of a hobby of mine for a long time. So I've been in the holistic health space for a while, probably since I was, I don't know, right after college, like 22.
Okay.
And I enjoyed doing that just as like a lifestyle. But I stayed in the corporate space, really loved my corporate job for the majority of the time. I worked for a big tech company. I was in a really high stress role. I was customer facing. I was traveling all the time, doing presentations to really big companies. And when I was in my 20s, it was like kind of sexy. I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, I'm making good money and, I'm traveling all over the place. And I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed my coworkers. I had a good time. But I really struggled with insomnia
Mm.
pretty much my entire adult life, even before I really started struggling with insomnia when I was about 15. I remember it being an issue for me in high school.
Mm.
And it was just significantly worse and worse and worse. Um, when I would have big presentations, which was all of the time. So I was just not sleeping good. And even though I was eating well, moving well, doing all the right things, I always struggled with anxiety when I was in the corporate space.
Mm.
And for me, it really came to a head when my father was diagnosed with cancer. The stress of having to always be on. I remember I had to go to a big conference and do like this 3 day training and presentation right when my dad was having like 9 rounds of radiation, like back to back to back. And
Mm.
after that, I went home and I just had a complete breakdown, like just complete nervous system shut down, waking up every night, not able to even feel my hands, my feet, like couldn't control my emotions, couldn't work. And that was the last straw. I was like, I love holistic health and wellness. I know that I feel like the universe has been pushing me in this direction. And now it is literally forcing me in this direction by shutting my body down. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was, yeah, yeah, kind of a
Oh,
lot.
thank you for sharing that story. And I kind of started tearing up a little bit. I think you and I have discussed in the past, like my dad is currently going through a cancer battle, and I know how that feels when you are in a high pressure situation or you're planning things or like you're in your own life, like you're having your own experiences. And then this like very serious thing is also happening simultaneously. And it's very taxing. It's very,
Yeah.
very taxing on our nervous systems and our emotions and I mean everything. Like, so I totally resonate and I feel you completely on that. And I'm just honoring you for listening to your body. I had kind of a similar situation where my body literally used to shut down. It was more in college and like early 20s, different reasons. I was abusing alcohol and substances and was in college. It just was not an aligned space for me. I partied really, really hard, barely went to class. I knew it wasn't my thing, but I kind of had like no other option. And so my body would start blacking out. I was having night terrors and I was diagnosed with epilepsy, even though I never had like convulsive seizures. They were just like, oh, must be epilepsy. Here's this huge dose of medication. Just take that. And I took that consistently for a while and my body literally started numbing, like my hands, my feet. So, like, I feel you in that too. Like, I was like numb to the touch. And I'm like, this is not okay. And I like took myself off that medication and never once was I questioned like how much are you drinking? What are you eating? What does your diet and your lifestyle look like? Not a single time was that asked. And yeah, so holistic health and wellness, the universe definitely like threw me into. They were like, this is not for you. Try this. This is pretty much the only option. And so I hear you on that one. When you're given a purpose, you're going to be forced into it at some time. So,
Yeah. Well, and I think that's really big being that young and being able to say, like, wait a second, like, really do that evaluation and be like, I actually think it's this medicine, or maybe it's my lifestyle. Like, so many people, and I really wish more people could tap into that. I know that I also drank like heavily, heavily in college, did not take care of my body, like well into my 20s. And even when that started winding down, like even just using alcohol at night to help me sleep, it's like now I know that that doesn't actually help me sleep. But there's so many people that don't aren't able to listen to their body, or they're just not quite in tune with it enough to say, all right, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this thing. Like maybe this substance isn't helping me, and maybe it's actually my lifestyle, and maybe I need to address it there first.
mm,
Um, I think that's the harder route, and I think people just don't always take it. And it's kind of one of my goals with my clients is like, this might seem like the harder route, but it's so much more rewarding, and your body will thank you if you do those daily things that are truly going to help you be well and no longer need to drink wine at night or guzzle, coffee during the day to stay awake.
I hear you. Like learning how to tune in and work with your body instead of against it, right? So, what would like if someone's experiencing burnout, they're in like survival mode. And I mean, a lot of times, like you said, they don't know that. Like, are there specific like signs or signals or symptoms that the body sends you that people could look out for and be like, oh, I have that. Maybe I should start to like take this into consideration. Like, what should people be looking out for?
The funny thing about symptoms is, everybody's body has weak points.
Mhm.
And so for me, I started experiencing like nervous system issues or sleep issues, but other people might experience burnout and stress showing up in their body in the form of weight gain or maybe headaches. So sometimes symptoms vary, but typically when a woman's in a very heightened state of stress for a long time in this chronic stress state, and her cortisol levels are elevated or maybe even eventually gone, the other way and become depleted, big signs are weight gain. Like that is something that so many women, like, I mean, all of my friends, like so many people, women that I talk to are like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. And if you are a woman that's like, I want to lose weight and you feel that you're eating the right way, you feel like you're exercising, like you feel like, okay, maybe if I just try this different diet, or maybe if I cut down my calories, and you feel like you're doing all the right things, but you're still not feeling the way you want to physically or looking the way you want to physically, that's probably a big indicator that stress
Mm.
is causing issues in your body. It's not you needing to try harder. It's not you needing to eat less. Like elevated cortisol is making you potentially estrogen dominant, and your body is holding on to fat because it believes it is in survival mode. So I don't like to I remember when I started doing this, I was like, I don't want to treat weight gain. Like, that's not what I want to do. I want
Right.
to heal people, holistically. I want it to be more than weight gain. But really, like, so many women that are stressed out, that is kind of a big indicator is weight gain and not being able to lose it when you're doing the right things.
It's interesting that you're bringing this up. I just found my way to this book and it's Find Your Flow. I forgot the name of the author, but she invented like the cycle syncing method. And basically, pretty much what you just said, like you can be doing all of these things right. You can try all the different diets, all the different fads. You start to stress yourself out in that too, because you're putting so much pressure on yourself to lose weight or look a certain way or feel a certain way instead of like taking a step back to try to tune into like maybe your cycle or like just different methods to listen to the body and honor the body, like get out of our heads and like, yeah. So it's interesting. I'm like diving into this book now and I think it's wild that women are not taught this, that this is not a standard. Like it's blowing my mind how we're on a 28-day cycle and men's hormones refresh every 24 hours. Ours refresh every 28 days. And we're like living literally in a man-made system. Like it's just everything out there is to go against the female body. So people like you are
It,
important to try to repattern the world.
yeah, it is. And, that wasn't even really something I thought about until after I left the corporate space. I
Mm-hmm.
had a mentor say to me, you've just been in this masculine energy. Like, I liked my job and everything, but I was having to operate in a masculine energy in a masculine world. And even though I didn't think that that was putting strain on my body, it really was. Like one of the most beautiful things that I've gotten from owning my own business is being able to have a little bit more flexibility and like lean into my feminine and um not have to operate in like my day to day in a way that does not align with me.
Yes.
So I think that's another thing that a lot of women in the corporate space are experiencing. Like we feel that we have to operate in this masculine energy in order to be successful. And that puts your body in a state of fight or flight. Like it puts your body in this constant state of stress, and you cannot rest and digest when that part of your body is activated.
It's so true. And with reproductive system too, like I have some friends that have been trying to get pregnant for a while, but I'm like, you guys, like you are both in a constant state of stress. Like, so I've studied Ayurveda. So looking at it through that lens, like we have 7 levels of tissue, and our reproductive system is the last level to like actually regenerate and recycle. And so when we're in that state of stress, fight or flight or freeze, like our bodies are not thinking of reproducing. They're not thinking of breaking down the fat. They're literally in survival mode. And so we have to take ourselves out of that to be able to regenerate these different levels of our tissue. And it takes time. And I think one of the biggest things, and if like people from have heard different episodes, I always say this, like we are in such a fast-paced society where everyone is so used to just taking a pill and feeling better like within 30 minutes. It's so hard to essentially train a person to slow down and take time to integrate tiny little digestible things into your life that will over time, you don't need that pill anymore. Like you don't need any of those band-aids slapped on. Like you're actually getting to the root of the problem. So it's just, yeah, we've got our work cut out for us.
Yes, yes.
It's
I
possible
think,
though.
yes, slowing down is so key. Like, if everybody could, and I know it seems so hard, like, slowing down feels hard until you actually do it, until you actually intentionally start to create space in your day, even if it's just a little bit of space in your day. Um, yeah, it makes all the difference. It's like that is kind of in my idea or in my eyes, like the best way to open the door towards, cooking more and taking time to take care of your body. Like it is baby steps. It is not overnight. I've been on my health journey for a long time, and it is still changing. It
Yeah,
is still evolving. My ideas around health have changed significantly just in the last year. So, like, I think people should be open to that and realize it's not going to be perfect or easy right off the bat.
absolutely. Healing is definitely not a linear process at all. And so something I wanted to come back to was so just focusing on like nervous system regulation, like slowing down, being more mindful, being more intentional. But what other techniques could listeners take away, like right here, right now? Like, what are some quick tips or tricks to help kind of like regulate?
Yeah. Something I really like, I kind of want to give two here. The one's just like kind of coming to me. It's not normally like what I say as a quick tip, but it's just like coming to me right now.
Love that.
I think it is slowing down as you move through your day and your daily tasks. I think as women, we I've always been told we're better at multitasking than men, and I think it's because we have just like all of these invisible to-do lists that are always going on in our mind. And I know personally, I will like a good example is I like to do dry brushing before I get in the shower. But so many days I'm like, oh, I don't have time to do that. Like I've got, it'll take me 5 extra minutes. And never once has doing the dry brushing, no matter how much of a rush I'm in, thrown me off on the rest of my day. Never. Like we think that these little tasks are too much to do, even though they take 3 to 5 minutes. And it's because we are in just this rush state. We have our like shoulders up here, we're holding our breath. So my tip would be to slow down, like intentionally slow down, intentionally be slow when you're washing the dishes, when you're doing chores around the house, when you're making dinner. You do not have to rush through these tasks because honestly, you're probably not completing them that much quicker. You are actually just completing them while in a state of stress and tension. Um, Rushing through cleaning the dishes may shave off 10 to 15 seconds. Like it is not actually completing the task quicker. So try to intentionally slow down when you are doing your day-to-day activities. I think that would be my biggest thing.
I love that. That's something I'm still trying to process because, every day is different. I like to call it like making the day to day, making the mundane like sacred.
Yeah.
Like everyone hates doing the dishes and folding the laundry, but if you could reframe that in a space where it's like one, gratitude, like I have clothes to fold, I have dishes to wash, but two, it's like this is maybe 5 minutes alone that you can
Yeah.
just be with yourself and your thoughts off your phone, away from a screen, and just slowly and intentionally and mindfully moving, maybe doing deep breathing in the process or something like taking those chores, those things that we all hate to do, and flipping that into more of a sacred practice. I love that. I really
Yeah.
do. And it makes what we're already doing more healing, maybe
Yeah.
like, yeah, more
Yeah,
digestible.
I like to, I'm not the best with mindfulness and meditation, but a challenge that I have for myself is, when you're doing these small things, can you just focus on this small thing? Like, don't think about your to-do list. Like, make doing the dishes your meditation if you have to, or your mindfulness time. Like, only focus on what you're doing and that task and quiet your mind to the other things.
Yeah. It sounds so easy and it is that easy, but being stuck in that chronic state that I'm sure all of us have felt like that just sounds like one more thing to do, which is so wild because it's like those are the small things that are here to like really flip the script and help. So I love that a lot. I'm gonna take that advice and try to use it every day.
Yeah, so something that I think is really great is waking up and just kind of doing an assessment. So many people, like I think a lot of people in the health and wellness space, and like maybe what I believe to be an outdated idea is planning everything in advance. Like if you want to get in shape or lose weight, like, schedule all your workouts so you make sure you have them or whatever. I know for me, that actually caused a lot of stress, especially as somebody who struggled with insomnia. So like if I scheduled a HIIT workout and then didn't sleep well, it's like, well, the HIIT workout isn't actually beneficial for me that day.
Right.
It's probably harming me actually. So something I suggest a lot is waking up and just asking, what do I need today?
Oh,
And doing a self-assessment. And this is something I do within probably the first like, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes of waking up. Because I'll wake up initially and be like, okay, I think I slept well. And then it's like I do go downstairs and do the dishes because that's like kind of the first thing I do in the morning. And I'm like, all right, I feel good. Like I've got some energy. Like I really believe I slept well. My body feels recovered. Let's think about the day. I've got a bunch of different meetings today. I'm pretty back to back. I'm meeting with a few new clients. Like I've got a lot that needs to be done. So maybe I am going to be in a more heightened state of stress. Maybe the answer is not to do that Peloton workout. Maybe it would be really nice if me and my partner went on a walk after work because we both have busy days. Like that's what I feel like I need today. And it's not being lazy. It is really just asking yourself, like, what energy do I have today? What can I give today? Where am I at in my cycle, maybe? Like, those are all things that I consider. Um, and that's how I plan my workouts. That's how I plan. I mean, honestly, one of the biggest things for me is workouts, but will I need to have a quieter morning? Do I need to meditate a little bit more? Should I take a bath in the middle of the day? I don't know.
I love that.
Just, yeah, asking yourself, what do you need today?
Taking each day one day at a time, especially as like you serve more of the high achieving corporate woman. And I, for one, am a to-do list queen. Like I love making lists. I love mapping everything out. I love like trying to take those steps, but then at the end of that, I look at my list and it's like overwhelm. And it's like, oh my God, where do I start? I don't even want to start. Let me just go back to bed because I have now just started my day completely in a state of overwhelm that I don't even want to be in this day. So I think that that is a great and easy hack that anyone can incorporate into their lives, and just getting more of a feel for learning how to honor your body and your intuition, because we are, again, the 28-day cycle, not a 24-hour cycle. We're literally showing up differently every single day. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's really important. And I'm also going to try to take that into consideration. I'm going to call myself out on this. I am a person that checks my phone first thing in the morning. It is not good. I'm a doom scroller, so I'm sure that is not helping my cortisol levels either.
Yeah,
But
put that phone across the
yeah,
room
like
and
don't
then
even have it in the space.
yeah, just keep it out, put it on airplane mode. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So one more question that's coming through. I'm sure like the people that you typically work with are in front of screens a lot of the time. And I think just society as a whole, we have a screen in our face every single day, all the time, constantly consuming. And I know that that is not good for our nervous systems either. Um, I mean, the obvious tip is put the phone away or just don't look at it. But what would you like say to your client if they're like, I mean, that's their job, like you're on a computer all day every single day and then you go home and you're on your phone? Like what would you tell them to do, or what are some like easy things that people can like start to do today?
So I don't know that this works for everybody. I know that you can set like limits on certain apps. That's not really something that I have tried because I think a lot of people just like override it.
Right.
So what I think really works, because I notice even myself, I'll be on the computer, but then if I get like stressed out or if I'm at like a transition where I'm like moving between one task to the other, if I am having a stressful day, my instinct is to pick up my phone and scroll.
Mm-hmm.
It's that is like there's fight and flight response, but there's also freeze as a stress response. And that's what we're doing as a society today. Like, acknowledge that you scrolling on your phone is a fight or flight or freeze response. And you are trying to just kind of numb your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's having the opposite effect. Like, you just have more information that's going into your brain. So, a suggestion and something that works for me is if I'm working on a project, I will put my phone in the other room. Like, if you can do that, if you can put it in your purse at work or something, just so that it's not right there
Right.
and you aren't tempted to grab it if you don't really need it. I think that has really helped me a lot just in breaking the habit of grabbing my phone and scrolling every 30 minutes, probably. Um, and then also, I really believe in making night times like kind of a sacred time. Me and my boyfriend, we both stop work at 5, like period. And we make dinner around like 6 or 6:30 and we both put our phones like away. Like that is my time with him.
I love that.
This isn't just about your health, it's about your relationship and like bonding with your family or your friends. And so I put my phone away when I start making dinner and I don't look at it again all night.
I love that.
And yeah, I know that's hard for a lot of
I'm
people.
inspired.
That's hard for a lot of people. And it's probably a little bit dramatic. Like, obviously, I'll pick up my phone if, like, I see my sisters calling me or something, but I really make an effort to not be on it. And for me, I know that that helps my sleep a lot, but it's also me making an active choice to, like, be present in my relationship,
I love
which
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the screens are worse. Like they're bad for our health, they're bad for our burnout, but they're also really bad for our relationships.
That is so true. I think it's definitely disconnecting us all from reality. And it's wild that it's a habitual thing to just, my phone's like right next to me. So it's just like, just grab it. and scroll. And then it's like almost this mindless thing. And then you catch yourself doing it and you're like, oh my God, okay, put it back away. It's just, it's crazy. So the world we live in is wild.
Yeah. Think
Um,
of your nighttime as like a little date. Like every night, I'm like, I'm gonna go on a date with my boyfriend.
I
We're
love
gonna make
that.
dinner at home. Like, think of it as a date. You wouldn't have a phone out on your date.
Right. I love that so much. I'm gonna start doing that because we work funky hours though, so we're gonna have to try to come up with something that works for us. But I think that's important, just setting the intentional time for self, relationships, community, and being intentional and mindful. Those are a lot of the takeaways that I'm getting from this conversation, which is great. So, last question. I know I already had one for you, but if someone wants to work with you, where can they find you? What does that look like? You said typically a 90-day protocol. So yeah, like where can we find you? And then maybe just a quick high level of like what it would be like working with you. Like what is that expectation?
Yeah. So if you want to find me, go to my website.
Okay.
That would be the best place. You can schedule a consultation right from my website. I do free consultations. And what working with me would look like, it would ultimately be a 4-month process with
Okay.
a heavy focus on a 90-day protocol. The first part is me just learning more about you. I call it doing a health history assessment. We'll just do a deep dive into you, your goals, your symptoms, things like that. I'll order labs for you. I do normally, I mean, I can do a range of labs, but what I really like to do is a stress and hormone panel and a GI map.
Okay.
Those show a lot of really good information. And for my women that are burnt out, um, it's sometimes helpful for me able to actually like point at a graph and be like, look at your cortisol.
Mm,
Look at it. Like, this isn't just a feeling that you have. Your hormones are elevated. And let's look at your estrogen. Let's look at your testosterone, your progesterone. Like, those are not where they need to be. And that's why your period is super heavy. That's why you're holding on to weight. So I think it's important to be able to have those numbers.
yeah.
And based off of that, I create a custom plan that, I mean, the goal is to start feeling better within the first month or see results within the first month. But, we do a 90-day process and it's really heavily focused in diet, rest, exercise, stress, and supplementation.
Amazing. Awesome. And I will link your website below in the description so people can find you as well as your social media. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close out?
I don't think so. Thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome.
Yeah, this has been great. I really appreciate it. You're very knowledgeable, and I definitely think you're in a space that is very, very needed as a whole. So thank you for what you do. Yeah. And big thanks for tuning into Wellness Wonderland. If any of this resonates, click that subscribe button and connect on social at Wellness Wonderland Collective for daily inspiration and insights on what's going on in the community. Until next time, stay curious, stay well, and lead with love in all you do.